Okay, guys, and welcome to the third of the mini series of the transfer special during the out season. Unfortunately, we've not only lost Azza's sleeves, but we've also lost Azza this afternoon. He's not going to be joining us, but we've got the mainstay of T and myself. And I think, to be honest with you, it's the first podcast of the transfer special that we're not on the cusp of signing someone, or not to our knowledge, we're not signing someone. We know how Villa can work sometimes. So, but I think start off by, officially welcoming Ashley Young. I think it was very close when we last came on. T, what do you think he brings?
I think he obviously brings the experience, doesn't it? But what a cracking signing. Absolute cracking signing. He plays in, like we said, I think the last podcast, he plays in multiple positions. He captained Man United. I think he captained Inter Milan as well.
I don't know.
A few games. And everybody speaks highly of him. I think Lukaku's come out and said, look, he's in his top 5 best players he's ever played with. Wow. I mean, that's unreal, isn't it? Yes. And it's just a great signing, isn't it? Like I said the last podcast, and I'll say again, he's not going to be the same player flying down that wing. He'll give us experience. He can give us the set pieces. I think it's just a cracking signing, I do.
Yeah, and I think, I've said this off air to yourself. I think, what he does is he's perfect for Smith because he covers left back, right back, left wing, right wing, and it almost allows us to put more into the pot to go and buy that next sort of eyebrow raising signing. And I think that's why I think he's a perfect signing. I think there's a bit of nostalgia there because I think, there's a few Villa fans disgruntled. He's done a bit of a diving against Villa, but the good memories he's created at Villa far outweigh the bad that we saw at Man U, and I'm absolutely over the moon that he's at the club. And I think the first 2 signings through the door are exceptional. I think it's now starting to make other clubs sit up and notice us. Maybe not so much the young one, but the Buendia one, the money that we've spent, and so almost casually we did it as if it was just, this is who we are now. This is the sort of people that we want to be bringing into the club. I think it's such an exciting time. But we've saying that then, T. Who do you think will be next through the door, or what position do you think will be next through the door?
I still stand by what I said in the last few podcasts. I think we have got a tight budget. I don't think we were spending an endless amount of money. If you put me on the spot, I think 85 million probably. We're definitely going to spend a lot of money now, the next bulk of the money, on an attacker. And then I think that attacker will be a number 10 as such, but I can also play in the up top positions. I think that's pretty obvious now that we're going for that. And then I think we'll do the fill-ins. We'll do in the defensive midfielder. We'll do the centre back. No mention of a left back at the moment, but we've got Ashley Young now, so that's done. We don't need a left back. So yeah, I think we've got a tight budget. I think that budget will be spent well. I think a lot of business will probably already be done, but we don't know about yet. Yeah. I also think outgoings. I don't think the Engels one was humming and ahhing, and it was his final decision. But he wanted to go. It wasn't Smith's. So we'll have a bit of cash there. So it's exciting times. But I've just got to point out that we'll not be spending £35 million, on the next 2 or 3 players. It ain't going to happen, lads. It ain't going to happen.
No, and again, I know that it's a bit tongue in cheek. You see on Twitter with that gif of a from Ball for Wall Street of throwing notes of fun coupons and stuff. And listen, we know we got wealthy owners, but I think if we sort of scrape all that back, I think we're in the best position in terms of, I trust the club in terms of recruitment and spend and development and the way they're moving as a business more than I think I've ever as a Villa fan. You look at last year's recruitment and I think it was absolutely exceptional, to be honest. And actually as well, where we got a little bit of stick of, the sort of the concert sort of transfer window. Some of those players now are actually showing their worth.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Drew, look at this. Before we come on air, Arsenal are about to spend £50 million plus add-ons for Ben White. How much did Conte cost us? And for me, Conte's a better player.
12 million.
12, 15 million. Either way, mate, he's a snip, isn't he? And our recruitment drive is so much better than any other club. at the moment, and that's the main focus. We've got to trust the recruitment, trust the remit, and players will come in. I still think it's smoke and mirrors with Smith Rowe. It's never going to happen. No. I do think someone else is lined up, and they're trying to push that deal through. Exactly the same as what Phillips was of Leeds. They're just trying to smoke and mirror, test the water, and get someone else through. The players come back the 6th of July. I'll stick my neck on the block, like I said last time, that we'll sign someone before England and Scotland. I think we'll probably get another player or 2 players in before the 6th of July. You know, at the moment, people are on holiday. I think Perslow's got, is it 24th today, isn't it?
It's 4th.
So I think we'll have some interesting remarks later this evening, because I know Perslow's got a fans meeting tonight. He always lets little snips go. So I think social media will be flooded with maybe who the next signing is, or, you know, we'll get a bit of an indication, because Perslow has got a fans meeting tonight. So let's see. Exciting times, mate.
It is. And I think, you know, kind of take away from the transfers, you know, we've had some really exciting updates, and I think the second one is as exciting as the first one. But obviously the developments on the stadium, you know, there's talk of a 50,000 seater, 60,000 seater. Either way, this is just another sign of how serious our owners are of being amongst and breaking up that top 6.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they're testing the water with the season tickets, like I said before. So let's see how many season tickets we've sold. Let's see how many are on the waiting list. Absolutely. What a great business sense. Sell the season tickets early, get a waiting list, you know, and then spend the money on the ground. The ground will be a 60,000 stadium to go in line with internationals. Yeah. It's just so exciting, isn't it? I mean, I've noticed since the last game of the season, we've had positive news every week. Every week's been there's some breaking or positive news, and I think it's just so refreshing. So refreshing.
It is, and again, you know, to add to that, you know, you look at that going on, and then, you know, I think something that pretty much most Villa fans have been crying out for, because, you know, I think not so much last season, but the season before that, I actually got worried when we had a corner 4, because I always thought we're going to concede here because of how bad we were at set pieces, and the talk that we're now looking at getting a set piece coach in. I know that Arsenal recruited the guy that was working with Smith at Brentford, and he's now been let go. And you know, maybe that could be the perfect relationship. Smith knows him. I know he likes to work with people he trusts and knows, like he did with Shakespeare. I mean, what sort of an impact do you think that can make?
Again, you know, Dino said right at the beginning of his regime, he wanted to bring in a specialist set piece coach. I'm surprised he's not coming sooner. Yeah. But it just brings us to another level again, doesn't it? You know, he's bringing his attacking options in as well. This is going to be absolutely amazing in the set pieces. But I actually don't think our set pieces, if you look at the stats, are that bad. You know, that bad. It's just going to be just another chink to our armour, isn't it? Getting a specialist coaching.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat that we'd had, I don't know, one of the most corners in the league.
Yeah, I see.
Scored one of the least, and I think even if it is just a, you know, like what we did at Arsenal, where there's a bit of distraction going on. Aubameyang, that famous clip of him like having a bit of a laugh and a joke, and then all of a sudden, Trezor stuck it in the back of the net, just to be a little bit cuter. But listen, you know, that's what that guy will be paid for, hopefully. And I think again, it's just like you say, another chink in our armour, another thing that makes us a stronger team. And it just makes you think. Imagine if we were getting Ashley Young 10 years ago, the set pieces he used to. Jesus Christ, you wouldn't need it.
The thing is with Joe, he'll never lose that armour. You know, that whipping. Yeah, that whipping balls. He won't lose that with age. He'll always have that. If anything, it'd be a bit more mature with it. And
what I meant by that is the fact that Young's probably not going to play as much as he did 10 years ago.
But to bring him on,
well, definitely. And like you say, it's worth. Then you think you got 15, 20 minutes chasing a game. You think get Young on with his set pieces, and all of a sudden, you know.
That's why I also think, mate, we will bring a DM powerhouse in. You know, a 6-footer who's good in the air, because we've not got that really at the moment, have we?
No, and again, I think I mentioned it on the last podcast. I'd love Romeo from Southampton. I know there's been little drips from Greg Evans, I think today, funnily enough, that's someone else that we've considered. And I think you can start to see, regardless if we get those players like you know, Emile Smith-Rowe, that's the profile we're looking for. Someone who can play, you know, left forward, number 10, right forward. You know, if we're going to get an enforcer, it's that sort of Romeo sort of type that, you know, kind of does that does the nasty side of the job. You know,
I'm gonna need experience, mate, because we've let this a lot. You know, we've got Ashley Young in, but I still think we need, like you say, an enforcer like him. He knows the drill.
Yeah, and I understand the links to Ward-Prowse because he's that defensive midfielder. He's unbelievable at set pieces. We all know that, but you can't be spending 40-50 million on someone. You know, he's there, Jack Grealish. He's been there since, what, 8 years old. And, you know, I'd love him. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love the guy, but it's just not going to happen. Smith-Rowe ain't going to happen.
It's just, yeah, man. And this is what I'm saying about that Saar for 20 million. It ain't going to happen, guys. I can't see it happening. We've already got kids in school. We're not going to waste 20 million pounds when we have got a tight budget. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, moving from that, obviously there's a few rumours that are just not moving away. They keep on surfacing. We've got Sander Berge, Emile Smith-Rowe, Julian Alvarez at our end, and then obviously going out, we've got Grealish and McGinn, Mr. £50 million man. What's your thoughts on Berge? Yes or no, paper talk?
I think there's something in Berge. I think that might go down to the wire if we've not found a diamond. But again, I can't see spending 25 million on him.
Yeah, you know, again, you know, you look at his sort of profile, and I think there's probably 3 that you'd throw into his category of Anguissa, Loftus-Cheek, and probably himself. You know, big box-to-box midfielders. Of the 3, I would personally probably take Anguissa, just because I think he played a little bit more than Loftus. I mean, when we played Fulham and we beat them at our place, I think the game changed when Loftus-Cheek came off, granted, but I just think there's a little bit of an injury concern with me on him, whereas Anguissa, I think he can carry the ball. He's big, he's strong, he's good in the air. I just think he's a bit more rounded, and that's who I would choose out of those 3 if you were profiling those 3. So, okay. Emile Smith-Rowe, we've sort of said paper talk, isn't it?
It was all paper from day one, mate. Just seemed to get a new contract.
It's agents in it. So
it's not even a point talking about, to be honest with you, because you know, it's just a bit of a tick attack with Arsenal fans to wind them up. But guys, it's never going to happen, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Julian Alvarez, the touted next Messi, the one that Messi's ringing to try and get Barcelona to sign, and it's amazing, isn't it, when you start getting linked with something. All these big players, you know, I've heard Higuain loves him and Messi loves him, and you know what, there might be something in that, because if he's been picked into the Argentina squad over Buendia, then, you know,
wasn't Tonov the next best thing for Bulgaria? You know, that whole tent behind you, mate, I can still see the ball in the air.
See, I love this idea, because we get linked with someone who's been playing at River Plate, and all of a sudden you've got 150 Villa fans. Yeah, I've watched him. He's an absolute amazing. You said the same thing about Tonov, mate. He was meant to be.
Oh God, one of the worst players.
Paper talk, or
I think there's something in it, but it's like anything with transfers. What guys got to realise is we'll have our favourite agents, we'll have our contacts, and we just sound people out all the time, you know. And I think, he has been sounded out. It's not necessarily the deal's going to happen. Yeah. But we've got lots of irons and lots of fire. And then I've said again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, Mackenzie's going to come up with a gem. Yeah. He's going to come up with a gem. He's not been used yet, has he?
No, not at all. I mean, whether he thought he could have snatched up that Pape Matar Sarr, again, you only hear it when the transfer window's open. He might have been looking at him, and then all of a sudden he's had an unbelievable finish to the season. His price has gone through the roof. Again, issue with Villa at the minute is because we're spending so freely. Is it a little bit like Man U, where when you're interested, our price gets doubled because Villa are interested? But yeah, we'll see.
At the moment, mate, agents are on holiday, CEOs are all on holiday. The Euros are going on. I'm pretty sure, like I say, it'll crank up before the 6th of July.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
okay, and then obviously we've got Grealish and McGinn. That again, the rumours just won't go away. We've got two reporters that are not conflicting, but one saying absolutely no way he's going, and then in Ashley Preece, and then you've got obviously Greg Evans, who's saying that there is interest there, but as of yet, nothing's happening. Villa are not, haven't received a bid. Now, that for me is fairly standard. I'd imagine there's 20 odd teams that are interested in Jack. Who can afford him, and who can, who's got a sort of a project that prizes Jack away from his love club? Do you know what I mean?
The schools of thought on this. I'll give my honest opinion on it, and it might upset some people. The thing is, mate, with Jack, he's got the best of both parties, isn't he? He's not going to say he wants to leave the club.
Yeah.
Right? But if an offer comes in, I think he'll go. I do think he'll go sooner or later. Maybe, at the end of this window or the next or whatever. The alarm bells will be ringing for me when he starts talking about how he enjoys European football, how he enjoys Champions League football. I know for a fact that there is interest from Man City.
Yeah,
I'm not going to come on here and tell you what I know, but there is definitely interest in Man City. I have told you off the air a couple of months back there was interest in Man City.
Yeah.
Now that interest is depending if Man City come up with the cash, which I'm pretty sure they would, and then we take it from there. I think the two conflicting reports, I know who I'd edge towards. I'm not going to say that on air. But you can't say that Jack Grealish is 99% staying. I don't think you can say that until that window closes, because you don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of games. You could have a worldie. Players could be turning his head. He gets a bug for European football, which I think he already has.
Yeah.
We just don't know. What I do like about the club, about the Villa, and I've said it on numerous times, that if Jack Grealish does go, we are built for him to go. All right, the foundations are there.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jack will go, but I don't think you can say that it's 100% he's staying.
No, I think my take on it is that we're lucky in the respect, one, that we've got him, and two, that it just so happens that a club legend in Aguero has retired. Well, he's not retired, but he's moving on this year. And
can I also say as well, mate, without interrupting, he's 27 years of age.
Who? Jack?
Jack's 27, isn't he?
25.
Well, 25. Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was 27.
No, 25 years.
25. So he's getting on, isn't he? He's getting on the terms of his as he gets older, he'll get more and more injuries. He'll be thinking to himself, look, I've got to get, sooner or later, I've got to make a decision. I either stay with the club I love or I'll go with European football. For me, at the moment, I think he's edging towards he wants Champions League football.
Yeah, I think, again, I'll go back to what I was saying. I think we're lucky that I think City's main priority is a striker, hence why they've put a bid in for a striker straight away. If they're talking about putting £100 million plus player or 50 million plus player, I don't think that they then can go and, because, whether they like it or not, and McGinn being rated at 50 million, well, Jack's 3 times as good as McGinn.
So I am right what I'm saying, and sorry, mate. He's 26, 10th of September.
Yeah.
So the following season, obviously, he'll be 27.
But what my point to that is that he from my point of view, I don't think that Jack's time's running out. But my other point with Jack is that if you were looking and you said, right, our budget, let's say City saying that their budget is 200 million this year. Well, let's face it, Kane's going to cost 120 million plus, and their priority is a striker. So to get Jack, you've got to go, we're going to try and put a cheeky bid in for 80 million, which I think it'd be laughed at. I don't think it'd be entertained. But secondly, me personally, and it's easy for me to say as a Villa fan, but if I was somebody else looking outside in, I would look at Jack and go, Jack in the last 4 seasons, his highest rate of sort of appearances is no more than 60% in 4 years. So Jack always seems to pick up a couple of month injuries. a season. Now, if I'm looking outside in and I'm thinking I've got 100 million to spend, I'd want a little bit more than that. I'd want someone like, you know, I'm not saying that he's even in the same boat, but I'm thinking someone like Kingsley Coman, who came on yesterday for France, that you think actually he's young, he's a serial winner, he can play multiple positions like Jack can, and he's not injury prone.
Yeah, but the thing is, mate, you know yourself now, football's not like the 90s. It's a commercial machine. Yeah. The amount of shirts that have been sold already for England with Grealish, number 7 or 8, is probably the most. If a club will spend what they got to spend, and they'll get their money back, because they'll get the money back from his performances, and they'll get the money back from commercial revenue. People, not just his agent, will be tapping at Jack's ear. There'll be commercial tapping at his ear. There'll be all sorts, mate. I just think, and I'm probably going to get slated for it, but I think, you know, you've got to realise that I don't think Jack's going to be around forever.
No,
and I think I would be concerned this transfer window, because I don't think the rumour's going to go away. I think it's going to go down to the wire. So let's see.
See, I actually disagree. I think we'll do what Dortmund do and say, you've got X date. If you haven't put a bid in, an acceptable bid in by that date, because, you know, Villa are not in a position anymore that they're going to accept a bid of, even if it's 120 million, let's, for argument's sake, say, with a week left in the transfer, 2 weeks left, they're not going to accept it, because
they're not going to accept it. But no. Like I say, mate, Jack's in a win-win situation, isn't he?
Oh, of course. And from my point of view, like exactly one of my biggest points that I was going to say is that, you know, you look back at the you know, our golden era of what, 10 years ago, then when we were really flying again, that every time we sold a player, where was the investment from it? We went and raided sort of unknown players from France and wherever else that we had to kind of YouTube, and weren't really that. Whereas if we sold Jack for 120 million, you better believe 120 million is going back into that squad.
Oh yeah, it will do. But I'm just trying to back up that discussion, an argument that you're saying that Man City haven't got the money. Man City could quite easily sell 3 or 4 of their players for 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. You got money there straight away then.
Yeah, I mean,
Sterling's going to be putting valuation on him at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, but again, what I'm trying to say about that is that, you know, when you go to a club like City, Chelsea, Man U, I mean, I've just read today that Sancho's agreed his side of the deal, and it's 350k a week he's on. So you try and put Sterling into Arsenal, Tottenham, whoever else it might be, he's going to go, I ain't going. Why would I go in half my wage? Why would I? So it's all good and well, people saying, yeah, Mahrez and Sterling and Jesus is up for sale. When they're on 200 grand a week, mate, I'll tell you something now. If my competitor for my company came in and said, we'll give you another job, but we're going to half your wages. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't Football Manager we're playing here. And just to kind of, do I think that Man City's recruitment structure this year is of, oh, we'll throw 100 million and then pick one of them 6 players? Nah.
Yeah, my fear was that Jack would go with England and the Jack stigma, the Jack show would happen like it does at the Villa. Shirts are being sold, everybody's chanting his name, players are being in his ear, he's mentioning about Champions League. Unfortunately, I think if everybody's very naive if they don't feel, I think Jack could be gone either come in or the next couple of seasons, and I hate it.
Listen, I think we've got this is probably one of our most important seasons under new ownership, under Smith. We need to achieve some sort of European football this year. In my opinion, if we don't achieve European football this season, Jack's gone. And you know what? I don't think there'd be a Villa fan in the land that would say he doesn't deserve to be playing that level. He deserves to be playing at that level now. And him staying and signing another 5-year deal just shows you what sort of a kid he is. You know, he loves the Villa, and listen, I don't think he'll go this season, and you know, whether
I'm not saying he's going to go this season, mate.
No,
but I won't be surprised.
No, and then I think that is like, listen, if City go, you know what, our max on Kane at the age of 28 was 100 million. We're not prepared to pay any more than that 100 million. So now we've got 100 million to spend on Jack. it might happen. It could well happen, but like I said, it will be a case of that. If it is, there'll be a date. I think that Villa will say it's by then or move on. And if it is that it does happen this season, it will be a case of that. There will be a plan that goes, there you go. That's what we'll do and replace with if Jack goes. Now, I'll stick to my guns, and I don't think it'll be this season. We need to achieve European football, whether it's that reserve level European football or Europa, etc., etc. We need to achieve it for him to stick around. And then if 120, 30 million comes in next season and we've got European football, he might still go, but he's given us exactly what we needed and put us into a platform to say, we can now go and say to a Kingsley Coman, whoever else it might be at that level, to go and say, yeah, we want you. You know, we've got European football to sort of. I
don't think Jack will want to go off go in a whimper as well. He'll want to say goodbye to a full Villa part.
Yeah, and I know this sounds really like silly, but I was at the game for Chelsea and he gave his shirt away. Now, I don't think if you even had a thought in your head, this might be my last ever Villa game, that you would give your last ever Villa shirt away, if that makes sense. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't think that. I don't know. I just don't think that it's this season. I think the owners might have just said, listen, we're going to reject anything that comes in this year unless it's ridiculous.
I've gone from 100% a few months ago thinking he's going to stay to probably 70%.
That's good odds. I'll take 70% all day long, mate. And I think Jack knows that there's another big name coming in, and I think he knows that with him, Buendia, and another name. I don't think. I mean, let's just hypothetically say Jack, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Buendia, Watkins up top. Defence that we had with 15 clean sheets last year. That is a European side.
Yeah, 100%. So, but we're a player away, or a couple of players away from having a bad run, haven't we?
Oh, we are. But what we're trying to say about that is that don't forget that you know, we had El Ghazi, who scored 10, Bertie, who scored 7 or 8, I think.
Assisted a lot, yeah.
Yeah, assisted a lot. We've got players now that coming off the bench aren't just oh God. It's, you know, I think not last season, the season before that, it was like everyone knew that at 70 minutes, either El Ghazi was coming on for Trezeguet or Trezeguet was coming on for El Ghazi. Next season, you know, if let's say we get this Julian Alvarez who can play across the front and up front, you've got Wes who's going to be coming back fit, who's been, you know, reading Greg's report this morning, looks like he's going to be told he's going to get a chance. I think Davies might go out on loan. I think we might still see a potential backup depending on Wes's condition. I think a defensive midfielder that will really shore things up and allow McGinn and hopefully Morgan Sanson will be a new signing next season. And then you've got that front four who just, you know what, lads, go and express yourselves, go and interchange, go and confuse them. You know, I want to see Jack starting on the left and finishing on the right, Buendia the same, and then whoever else is number 10, hopefully that comes in, does the same. But, you know, not forgetting that, it's you know, moving on to the next subject really, and perfectly so, that we've got some of the best 16, 17, 18-year-old kids in the land. So does people like Chooks, does he stick around and become number 10? You know, me personally, from what I've seen, and I know it's a completely different level, but I think Aaron Ramsey's probably more so to get excited about than Jacob.
I agree.
Who does stick around? Who goes out from the youth then?
I think you're probably the likes of your two centre halves will probably go on loan. I think your kid at left back will go on loan.
So
yeah, I think he'll go on loan. Bradley. I think Bradley Young will go on loan. So yeah, the likes of that, and then I think the guys, the Chooks will stay around. I think Louis Barry will stay around, but yeah, I think majority of those will go and get experience elsewhere. To be honest,
I think you got that. I think you know I follow a lot of them on social media, and you're seeing them that they're literally not having any time off. They're just gone straight through. I think Louis Barry, I think he's seeing, and it's probably a tactic maybe.
I don't know about the time. They've gone to Portugal, a couple of them, on the lash.
Yeah, I did see that. Brad was there, wasn't he? But I mean, I saw Louis Barry, and he just doesn't seem to have stopped. And maybe the tactic with him was purposely don't involve him in the first team with
Look,
the lads, kicking up the arse a bit.
Louis Barra's been given a program during for pre-season for weights. I don't know if that's common. I don't know if that's common knowledge. It is now.
I think it was, yeah. I think
that's all right.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it got published not long ago, but you can see that maybe him seeing that Chooks and Jaden getting into the first team, thinking, shit, I still need to put my ideas up here. So yeah.
And it looks like Gilbert's staying.
You reckon?
Well, yeah. No, we're not rooming for a right back, are we?
Well, that's what Ashley Young's going to do, isn't he?
Well, Ashley can play on the left as well, can't he?
Yeah.
I think.
I personally think that Conser has done Gilbert no favours, because when he slotted in at right back, we looked as solid as. And I think people can't forget that when we were in the Championship, Courtney Horse played a lot of his time at left back, and he was very good.
If Gilbert does go, it's another 5 million. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Engels was 3.5 million. Thank you.
Better than a bag of potatoes, isn't it?
That's a bag of second potatoes, mate. Yeah, definitely. Rotten potatoes as well. I think a bag of potatoes is probably faster.
So let's and he wouldn't get megged against Tottenham.
No, it wouldn't, no.
Okay, so we saw Engels go, and a bit of an emotional leave from Elmo and Taylor, and you know what, they got a bit of stick, but proper pros, Taylor and Elmo. So who else do you think will leave?
Connor's definitely. Connor will go.
Yeah, I think so. Got a year left, has he?
Yeah, I think Connor will go. I think Gilbert will probably stay now. Probably go. Davis will go on loan. The Canberra will stay. Al Ghazi will definitely stay now, and I thought he was off.
Yeah.
Douglas
helped him out.
Douglas Luiz, I think he was going to go. But I don't think he's going to go now, because we ain't going to see him for a long time, are we? Because he's fancying around Brazil.
Well, I think the thing that worries me a little bit about that is that he's going straight to the Olympics.
He was shattered. September. Yeah. I was doing until September.
And then I think, is it January, the AFCON where Nakemba goes? So you've got to be really light at centre defensive mid. This
is what I'm saying. So Drew is like, we're only a couple of players away again from having not a depleted squad, but key areas. Troy will go. Marvin's Nakamba, will he go? Africa? Yeah, he'll go. Douglas Luiz is gone. There's 3 key players there. Martinez, I'm sure he'll go. International games, will he? No.
I don't think it's Copa America.
No, so he'll be all right. But yeah, anyway, there's 3 key players there.
Otherwise, we've got Buendia and Emmy going.
Yeah, and if we get injuries on top of that as well, mate, which I'm sure we're going to get some injuries.
Of course we are, but
we always bloody do.
That's law of averages. Every team does. And
a keeper's coming. Another keeper definitely coming.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely think that we're in a position now where we're not looking necessarily to strength. I think there'll be one more that's a proper strengthener in terms of a starting 11 player. Could be rotational.
I still wouldn't close the rumour on Tammy.
You don't think?
No, I think that might go down to the wire.
See, it's interesting really, because I think that'll heavily rely on whether Giroud goes, because if Giroud does go, then they're not going to sell 2 strikers unless they're bringing one in. Now, again, I know there's rumours that they're after Haaland as well. So again, all of that sort of relies on a domino effect, doesn't it? And listen,
that Tammy's nothing to do in the know. I'm just thinking. I don't think that rumour. I think that could go down to the wire.
I personally just don't see where he fits. If I'm being honest, I just don't think that the style of play that we had when we had Tammy is completely different now. We're a high pressing team. I just don't. Tammy's got a lot of strengths. Pressing's not one of them. I think you look at England's performances right now, where we're lacking a bit of pressure. I think Watkins is crying out for Watkins, funnily enough. And I honestly think you take Watkins out of our cog and Villa become a completely different team.
I think Bamford should have gone as well.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout at all. But I mean, at the minute, mate, you've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's was one of the top goal scorers in the league, and he's not seen a minute. He got
Kane playing in the bloody midfield.
Crazy. I mean, the amount of times I looked at the game and I saw Kane was in the number 10 and Jack was at number 9. And I thought, what is the actual tactic here? This is worse than putting Kane on corners again.
We can move on to England if you want, mate, because we'll have a discussion about it. I reckon that's why Azzy's not on, because I've totally disagreed with him about what he says about England.
So yeah, I mean, see, this for me personally, I'm very, very critical of Southgate's style of play. I think if we played the way we did against Scotland, against a decent team, we would have lost. They had some very good chances. One cleared off the line. Che Adams had a really good chance that Pickford saved. He had a few other chances that he probably should have put away that a better striker probably would have. And all this, yeah, but we've kept 3 clean sheets. Well, of those 3 teams, who would you expect to score against us? Because they're all pub teams, the rubbish teams. Like, I know Croatia were World Cup finalists a few years ago, but they've still got the same players. They're now 4 or 5 years older. They've not really come along. And this starting well for 20, 25, 30 minutes and getting an early goal and then just inviting pressure and sitting on our you can't do that against France, Germany, Portugal, Belgium, whoever else. You can't do that. You know, they get one chance and score it. You know, it takes Croatia, Czech Republic and Scotland 15. You can't do it, but he's winning games. He's got us top the group and we're doing about our business quite.
I think he's coming home.
I've said it from the beginning, mate. I said the very first podcast, I said, I think we'll do it. I do. And I still do. As much as it makes me nervous, and people are saying Jack wasn't effective in the second half and neither was Saka and Mount hasn't looked the same. I have never in my life of watching Jack Grealish play seen him turn and pass the ball backwards as much as he did in an England shirt. And that isn't down to the players. That is down to Southgate going, we're winning the game, manage it. We don't need to go and score goals. And maybe I need to just manage my expectations on it and just go, you know what, maybe that's just the way we're going to go through. And, you know, you look at the patterns of how people win tournaments. And, you know, France weren't very exciting last World Cup, but they won it.
The thing is, Drew, just very quickly on Jack Grealish, is he ain't fit, is he? He ain't fit. And there's no way Southgate's telling him to run backwards. Saka was running forward, mate. He was taking the full back on. He was going forward. Something's not right with Jack. I think his shin's obviously still playing up. He seems a little bit nervous to dance past a few players. But a 6 out of 10 Jack is still a very good Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
And would fear a lot of teams. So he did an assist. But with England, mate, I think Neville got it absolutely bang on. It's tournament football. We've tried over the tournaments before to outplay football teams and come really unstuck. Croatia in the World Cup, right? He set us up different. He set us up hard to beat, right? And he set us up not really as a footballing team, but hard to beat. France did it on their own patch when they won the I think it was the World Cup, was it? When they won the World Cup. Greece did it, right? Portugal got 2 points out of their group. They didn't even win a game in their group, played a bit ugly, and they won the tournament as well. I can see the vision from Southgate. Yes, he's going to get slated. Yes, it is boring. But we ain't lost the game. We ain't conceding, and we will beat the Germans on Tuesday, mate. Because I'm working and I ain't watching it.
I genuinely do think we will beat Germany just purely because they're not the same team. You know, they've conceded in every game they've played. I do think that England will score in any game that they play, and I think there's enough attacking to do that.
And we've hit the bar 3 or 4 times. So it's not like it could have been a different story.
We have, and this is the thing. You know, you look at every single game we've played, and the first 20, 25, 30 minutes of those games, we've looked great, but then we get that goal, or we don't get that goal and sit back.
The two weak links for me, mate, is Rice in the middle, which I didn't think I'd say this tournament because I thought Rice was going to have a good tournament, but he's been found out. Rice has. He wants to get rid of the ball. He's not particularly brilliant on the ball, really. I don't think at an international level. Kane, I've always said, I think is a bit overrated. You know, there's probably you got Kane coming into the halfway line. We're all bombing forward when we do bomb forward, and there's no outlet. But it'll clear. It will clear. It's tournament football. We will beat the Germans and then roll on.
We've got a dream run from there, to be fair.
And we're at Wembley.
Yeah, well, and that's the other factor as well. I mean, see, me personally, I actually think that Kane's probably dropping so deep because he's not seeing the ball, because of how many times we're turning the ball backwards and Saka turns the ball backwards, and that's just not their style of play. And it's frustrating. You know, I used to play as a striker, and I know when you're not involved in the game, you try and force it, you try and drop deeper, and you try too much. And I personally think he needs to change the formation against Germany, because their strengths are their wing backs, that Gossens and Kimmich.
I think he has to play Mount. I think he has to play Mount. I don't care what people. I don't care what people. Mate, it's just that much off the ball.
It does, but you look at the stats of the last game, and Jack made more pressures than anyone up front.
Why can't this theory though? Why can't we play Mount and Jack together? Why can't we?
So my reasoning that you need to play Jack is because the way that Southgate is playing, if I said to you, name me a player that when you're under the cosh to give the ball to will run up the park and get you a free kick, name me a better player in world football than Jack Grealish.
Oh, it's superb, mate. It's for me. We're not being biased because it's a Villa podcast. He's a world class player. He's my favourite player of all time, apart from Paul McGrath. But what I'm saying, it's a team game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But the way that Southgate's playing, it's almost forcing us to go down that route of playing that way, because Jack comes in there, and even if he does come off the bench and, like you say, Mount starts, or if it's Foden in there or whoever it might be, me personally, I think that Jack get having the ball and winning us fouls when a German team who are frustrated or whatever it might be, because they look like they're going to concede in every game they play. So we will score. It's just then.
And Drew, Foden's been piss poor, mate. He had a piss poor Champions League final as well. But okay, he's a brilliant. Yeah, well, so cool. Brilliant player. I ain't seen it.
I'll be honest with you, mate. Other than Saka and Mings, I don't think anyone has been exceptional or really, been stand out.
I think Carl Walker's been outstanding.
Oh, mate.
The last two games. No, mate. The last two games.
He didn't play the last one. He was Reece James.
Czech Republic.
Yeah, I mean, you said the last two.
Sorry, the Czech Republic. I thought he was outstanding.
Croatia was awful.
Yeah, Croatia was bad, but I thought he was absolutely, probably, he didn't get enough what he deserved. I thought he was brilliant.
See, I actually think if I was looking at it, I would actually start as a 5, and I'd put Walker as a central defensive defender, and I'd put Maguire or Stones, and I'd put either on the other, because he's not going to play Mings, is he, if Maguire and Stones are fit. So I'm thinking like Southgate now. So I'd go Walker, Stones, Maguire, and then I'd go Reece James as your right wing back, and I'd go Saka as my left wing back.
Don't you think Carl Walker had an outstanding game against Croatia? Czech Republic.
I thought he was better.
He was
good, but I wouldn't say he was my standout player. Saka was my standout player.
Oh yeah, Saka, but different.
But yeah, he was a lot better. And to be fair, what he did, a lot of the stuff covering around the back, which was probably one of his weakest areas, I think, his concentration, where he was chesting it back into the keeper and just cutting that. And that's just calmness. And you don't, you can't buy that sort of experience. But yeah, he was much better against Czech, but he looked awful against Croatia. And my two standout players, 3. And I wouldn't say it at club level, but internationally, he's never let us down. I think Pickford's been brilliant. I think Mings has been brilliant and really harshly dropped, but we knew it would happen. We called it. And I think Saka was brilliant against Czech. Jack was good for half an hour, but any proper Villa fan looked at that England game and went, Jack ain't fit.
I don't think he's fit.
No, I mean, there was a few times where there was Saka breaking and Kane was breaking his neck, and Jack was kind of jogging up, and he was the third player, and I thought, you ain't fit because you want goals here.
So you'd think in international football you get more protection from the referee. It's just as bad.
I'm going to say, mate, he was
just as bad.
To be fair, you know what? In the tournament, I will say, and I do think that we, the whistles do get blown quite quickly, but I think in the tournament they've let a lot go, ain't they? To be fair,
the one was it last night? He let everything go, didn't he?
I'm sure it was Coman. Should have had a penalty, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, the Denmark. Who did Denmark beat 4-1? Russia. Oh yeah, just let the game flow. It's brilliant to watch.
Like a free for all.
Yeah, brilliant. It's like street football. Just kick as much as you want, lads. Carry on. Let's have an entertaining game.
Yeah. So, But yeah, all right.
What are you predicting then, mate? Go on. England.
I've got a few. What did you say? Sorry.
What are you predicting England? And go
on. I'd say I think it. I honestly think we'll win it. I do. I said it before the tournament.
That's good then.
I thought we would. I thought from the beginning of the tournament, man for man, to 11, other than probably France, we haven't got the best 11 in the tournament, but we've got the best squad in the tournament, and I think that pays dividends.
The key is as well, Drew. We play every game at Wembley, bar the quarterfinals, which we play in Rome.
Yeah,
bring it on.
And you know, you got 45,000 going on Tuesday. You got 60, hopefully, in the semis and final.
And I think there's a story of penalties with Pickford. Watch this space. Hey, I've predicted that, and I.
With what? With Pickford?
I think Pickford. Penalties.
Oh.
Saving penalties.
Oh yeah, I mean, you look back at the Colombia game; he was close to most of the penalties.
Yeah, there's something about Pickford. Yeah. He looks like he's matured.
Listen, I know he gets a bit of stick from Everton, and I look at some of the times I think, Jesus, he can't start for England. But I would be racking my brains to think of any time that he's let us down internationally. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad game for England.
I agree.
But anyway, let's finish off with some quick fire questions.
Yeah.
Who will lead goal involvements for Villa next season?
Jack Grealish, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah. What
will the result be?
What result?
First result of the game, the season against Watford. What's the scoreline?
I think we'll hammer them 3-0.
Who's our first goal scorer in that game?
Oh.
Would it be right for Concert to kick us off again?
I reckon. I was about to say. Do you know what I was about to say, Concert?
Sent it through, mate.
On a corner.
There you go. Done. That piece coach is paying for himself already.
Done. I was trying to think earlier, actually, mate. The set piece coach has left Arsenal, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. They took from Brentford, so hopefully that's a
done deal. Yeah, done deal. It was Spanish, wasn't it? Was he Spanish?
I honestly don't know. All I can think is all the status is coming from Villa fans to Arsenal. We've took another one off you.
Yeah, definitely.
And last one, pin you to the wall. What's the next position to come through the door? Don't need a name, just need a position.
Defensive midfielder.
Okay.
Unknown.
And what's the next name you think will leave?
Connor.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. I think he's everyone loves Connor. He's done a lot for the club, but
I think Connor's done. I think he's signed the contract. He's done.
And I think it shows. I don't think Swansea will want to sign him back. I think that probably tells you all you need to know. So
I was surprised if you see Connor as someone like Watford.
Oh, just as long as you don't go to the Blues.
No, mate. I heard something today. Craig Gardner's director of football. So he's just buying everybody. I hate the Villa, right? But I'm sure Ryan Woods used to be a Villa.
Nah, he's from Pelsall. He's not from around here. His family of Villa, but he's Blues.
Only quickly though, mate. Back to Norwich. I tell you who I would love down the Villa. Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, I'd love him down the Villa. Perfect.
That's such a good signing for them. That is, but
I think we are an interested club, but there's interest in actually following it up, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think this loaning a player from Chelsea for a season, it works to a degree, because if there's a position you need to plug for the season whilst you haven't got the funds to really spend that money on it, then great. But I don't want to keep on having this association with Chelsea of just borrowing someone for a season.
I'd love Gilmore.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we could get him, I'd love him, but. I do think that we could, if that means that we've got more money for a number 10 position, then great, I'm all for it. But again, does he then tick that box of an enforcer, a set piece take? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think he does. He plays in 6, 8 and 10.
No, but I mean, as a proper enforcer, he's about 5'6", isn't
he? Yeah, you'd bring it. Yeah, true. And the whole object of the DM is almost 6 foot in powerhouse, don't we?
I think we're crying out for a bit of height, and I think that's probably why we're not as great on set pieces, because we haven't got any proper, conker trees that are going to go and attack it.
I don't know if you've ever seen Douglas Luiz win a ball in the opposition box in the air, have you? No, seriously, I don't think I ever had.
No, I'm not, and that's not being bad. I just don't, yeah, I don't think. I think we've said before, Douglas Luiz isn't a defensive midfielder, is he? He's not.
Don't know what he is.
No, I don't know if he knows what he is either.
Well, we'll see. Let's watch your space, Douglas Luiz.
Indeed. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, give us some comments as well if you've liked anything, if you disagree or agree.
I can't wait for the Jack Grealish comments. I'm going to get pelters, aren't I?
I'm the one who's defending it. This is the man who wants to get him out the door.
Hey, don't start that one. Forget that one.
Nah, listen, thanks ever so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, and put some comments in. Cheers, guys.
Get well, Azza. See you later.